Hello, I am Jamila McMallow, mindset coach for women executives and entrepreneurs. I help women heal their inner child issues in my 90-day program. I also help business and non-transformational coaches to provide additional support to their clients within their programs, and I also help companies increase employee morale and productivity. I'm kind of all over the place because um, I'll just share this with you. I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. They're currently napping, and at any given point, they could potentially wake up. But I still wanted to go live and be here with you all today. So don't mind me. Just a little bit of mommy brain, if you understand me. So today's topic is if I wasn't afraid, I would. And this is kind of like actually an exercise that I want you to do. So obviously, if you're watching live, you're going to have to go back and do this, watch the replay. But I really want you to get a paper and a pen. This is an exercise that I did in a program that I was in just last year, and it was very eye-opening. And what I want you to do is to literally write down the phrase, if I wasn't afraid, I would. And I want you to give yourself uh, just a good 5 minutes and just write everything that comes to mind that you would do if you weren't afraid. It could be um, trying something new at work, applying for a promotion, going after a big project. Excuse me. It could be going after a big client. It could be being more visible. If you're an entrepreneur, maybe doing some different types of marketing. It could be wearing your natural hair, whatever it is. What would you do if you weren't afraid? And I want you to write all those things down. And like I said, this is live, so I'm not going to pause for 5 minutes while you do this. But when you watch this back, pause, do the exercise, and then kind of re-listen to what these things are that I'm going to share with you. The reason why I wanted to have you work through this exercise and I wanted to start here was to simply illustrate to you how many things you actually are capable of that you're simply not doing because of a fear. And typically that fear is around what other people are going to say or what other people are going to think. But typically it's because of some reason outside of ourselves as to why we hold ourselves back from doing things that we actually desire to do, that we can actually see ourselves doing. And I wrote a post today where I talked about the superpower of women, and that is our emotions. And unfortunately, for most of us, we were raised in an environment where we were told to stop crying or stop being so emotional or, all of those things. This is messaging that most of us got as little girls. Probably little boys got it worse. There's a lot of men, who never got the opportunity to learn how to express their emotions in a healthy way. But since my clients are primarily women, I'm going to speak into our experience as women. But as women, we are primarily emotional creatures. And so to chastise a little girl for being who and what she is literally causes a shift within her. It creates a feeling or a sentiment that there is something inherently wrong with a part of me that I literally have no control over. And because most of us grew up with that conditioning and that messaging, we lost touch with our superpower. See, I don't look at emotions or feelings as a weakness. And as a woman, you shouldn't either, because they're not. We tend to be more emotional, lead with our emotions, because that is our strength. It is a strength for us to be able to feel, for us to be able to provide comfort. Hey, Sharice. Hey, Soren. How you guys doing? Thank you so much for watching. But our feelings are our strength and our superpower. And unfortunately, like I said, for most of us, we've spent most of our lives being told that we weren't allowed to feel our feelings, that we weren't allowed to express our feelings, that we had to learn how to manage them, control them, that they were this negative thing. When the truth is, that's not true. Okay. The truth is, feelings are just messages. They're just letting us know that something happened, maybe that we didn't like, or maybe that we did like. Whatever the case is, it's just messages. And when our feelings got hurt, or when we experienced pain, or we experienced trauma, those are just old feelings that have not been acknowledged, that we're still holding on to, that we just have to learn how to release and let go. And this is so incredibly important for us as women, because we are uh, more emotionally driven, and our emotions are our superpower. We have to be careful at how we wield this power, because it is powerful. Emotions are energetic, they're energy. So it's a power. We are powerful with our feelings. And so we have to wield that power carefully. We have to understand what it is that we're doing, because a lot of times we're functioning from a place of where we don't have any awareness. We don't know that we're actually causing or accepting or doing things simply because of how we're feeling. But if you think of yourself as like a rock that's thrown into the pond, like you're the rock. When you hit the water, the ripples go. So how you feel, it goes out. It affects everything. Okay. And what you feel, you create. That is what our power is as women. What we feel is what we create. Think about your home life. Think about how much you love your children. Do your children feel your love? Is your home warm and inviting? Do they feel comforted when they get sick? Do they crawl in bed with mom because they feel your love? They feel your comfort. It's healing to them. See, we do it, we don't even think about it, but it's your feeling, your energy that affects everyone around you. And so when you learn that, when you understand that, then you become to realize that, hey, I'm creating a lot of the experiences that I'm having in my life. And I have way more power and control than I actually thought. And you realize that feelings, emotions, your thoughts are not these intangible things to just be poo-pooed off to the side while you simply spend your life focusing on strategy, or acquiring more knowledge, or acquiring more skills, or pushing and driving yourself trying to reach a goal. It's kind of like you're trying to do something without being all of who you are. When if you allow yourself to be all of who you are, it amplifies and makes everything that you're doing so much simpler and easier. Okay? So I want you to understand that if, as a woman, your emotions, your feelings are your superpower, then you have the ability to create from what you are feeling, then your feelings, your emotions as a woman are critically important to the quality of your life. Now, I know, and what I appreciate about the times that we're living in is that for the most part, uh, there's an awareness of a need for people, for us to focus on our mental wellness, right? Our emotional health and things like that. But there are many different ways to go about it. And the work that I do with my clients, that's one way. But you may find something else that works for you, and that's fine. But I'm going to speak into what it is that I do and how I help my clients, okay? But when you are dealing with emotions that are negative, when you have leftover remnants of hurt feelings, of confusion, of limiting beliefs that came from experiences where you developed stories about things in order to be able to explain them to yourself as a little girl, when you do that, what it does is it creates a lot of negative emotions flowing around in there. And you may find yourself, doing a lot of overthinking, a lot of second guessing, all these different things. And all those emotions, those old feelings are doing is just taking up space. And they literally are clogging up your view or fogging up your ability to feel powerful, to feel good, to feel confident. Okay? So you have to create that space. You have to make that room. Now, here's the thing. Do you have to do this? Get rid of these old feelings and things in order to be successful? No, you're already successful. You're already successful. You have already accomplished and achieved so much, primarily because you learned how to do things despite not fully understanding how to deal with your emotions or to embrace them and to really allow yourself to be all of who you are. So that took even more effort. So the fact that you've gotten to where you are with a tremendous amount of effort, really learning how to disconnect from yourself and all these things. And by the way, none of this was conscious. Just it's not really something you're aware of. You just did it. And you've gotten to where you are, and you are successful, and you are winning, and you're doing a lot of good things in the world. However, you will eventually reach a point in a place to where this is going to have to catch up to this. For my clients, and what I found even personally, is it usually starts to hit, around the mid 30s, getting towards 40. You start going, something just don't feel right. I can't put my finger on it, but I've got to check in with me. Something's not right. And it's all it is this, you're really coming in to an awareness of the fact that your superpower as a woman are your feelings, your emotions. And then, of course, your thoughts, because what you think about affects how you feel. But from this place is how you can create a life that you've only dreamed of. Because here's what I'm going to ask you. Because remember that list I asked you to do at the beginning, the exercise? And if you dropped in late, or if you're watching the replay, of course, you've already done it then. But the exercise was for you to take 5 minutes and write down everything you could possibly think about of, if I wasn't afraid, I would. So everything on that list, like I said, are things that you have thought about doing, that you desire to do, that you wish you could do, that, you'd love to do. But the only reason why you're not doing it is because of how you feel. Fear is just a feeling. It's just a feeling. It's not necessarily real. It's not real. Okay? We do want to have a healthy fear of crossing the road when there are trucks and cars and things like that. We do want to have a healthy fear of certain things. Yes, there is real danger in this world. But a lot of times we have manufactured fear coming from a place, like I said, from those things, those hurt emotions, those hurt feelings, those traumatic things that we've been through in our childhood that have caused us to kind of develop some blocks and some guards and some ways of being so that we feel safe. It's kind of a way for us to make us feel safe. So we hold back, we hide, we play small, we do all those things. But when you understand that embracing that part of yourself, that allowing those feelings to be acknowledged and healed and processed, and really releasing them and being free of them, opens you up now to feel good. And that feeling good produces real, tangible, valuable results in your life, such as in your money, such as in your relationships, such as in how you see yourself. See, your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, there is nothing intangible about them whatsoever. They are powerful. And as a woman, what you feel, you create. And so when you feel good and you feel confident and you feel healed, all the success and things that you think that you have done now, you can't even begin to imagine what you're capable of or what's possible for you when you really tap into who you really are. And so I'm just going to circle back again to that little exercise I gave at the beginning. And I hope that you'll take the time to do it, because you're going to find it to be an eye opener. And what's interesting is you'll find that there's not going to be anything on the list that's going to be especially crazy, that you want to do that's dangerous or unsafe. You're going to find that there's probably things on there that aren't really that big of a deal when you think about it. But the idea of doing it just was like, oh my goodness, I couldn't do that because so and so might think this, or somebody might criticize me, or this. Like I said, it's usually because of something outside of you. And typically it's what some other person is going to say or think. What would it feel like to not care? What would you do if you didn't care? If how you felt wasn't dependent on what somebody else was doing or thinking or feeling about your actions. Do you see what I'm saying? So in all of my lives that I'm doing, I'm really just wanting you as a woman to understand the value of who you are, that you are not what you know. You are your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, how you see things, and that you are a very powerful creator in your own life. And your power is in your emotions and in your feelings. Yes, you absolutely have to take action to reach any goal. You cannot think and feel your way to any sort of success. You actually have to do something. But who you are, how you think, how you feel is what drives you to take certain actions. It's what allows you to listen to your gut and your intuition and your inspiration. But when you're clouded, it's very hard to do that because you can't even hear yourself. The good voice in your head talking, because sometimes the negative one is louder. And so in the work that I do with my clients, that's what we unravel. We go to the root of it and we go right to the bottom into childhood and deal with all of those things that are responsible for some of the fears and feelings that you have now as an adult that are keeping you from fully stepping into your dreams, that are keeping you from fully making the amount of money that you want to have, that are keeping you from fully embracing the good man trying to love you that you're married to, but you're just uncomfortable with it. Or you're single and maybe not feeling like you're ever going to find a good man, okay? Because of these things from your past that have convinced you that that is the truth. When the truth is, it's not true. It's just what you believe. And again, think about what I'm really saying. Thoughts, feelings, emotions. They are the gasoline behind everything. They can amplify what you do or they can slow it down. So I encourage you, if anything that I said here today resonated or landed, I would love to hear your comments. Feel free to drop them, whether you're watching on Facebook, whether you're watching in my Facebook group, or you're watching on LinkedIn, or if you would rather express yourself privately or ask me a question, you're welcome to send me a DM. But in my 90-day program is where we address these issues from childhood that are preventing you from really stepping into and embodying your full power as a woman, to embrace your emotions as your strength, not a weakness, not something to be managed or a problem to be dealt with. Not at all. You're not broken. No, we're not perfect. None of us are. But there's nothing inherently wrong with you simply because you have some old feelings that just need to be released. That's all those are. And when you do, it creates the space for you then to become whomever it is you desire to become. The woman that's doing the things on the list of, if I weren't afraid, I would be doing this, and this, and this. And if you can, I'll add a second layer to that exercise. Write down the monetary value for each one of those things that you would be doing. Write down how much those things would affect your life financially. And then ask yourself, do my thoughts, feelings, and emotions have a tangible monetary value? And is it worth me investing in myself, into who I am, into who I am being, in order to shift my feelings and emotions and my thoughts so that they are helping me instead of holding me back? So that's all I had for you today. I hope that you got some value out of watching this live. As I said, feel free to drop your questions in the comments or send me a DM. And also, I'm just going to put this up as well. You are also welcome to schedule a call with me if you would like to speak one-on-one privately about working with me in my 90-day program. I do currently have 2 spaces open on my calendar for new one-on-one clients. And yes, just reach out to me and you can schedule a call and we can talk. And on the call, even before the call, you're going to fill out a questionnaire. You're going to answer lots of questions. That way I can get a understanding of your background so that I'm prepared for the call. And then we're just going to go over some of your challenges. And then I'm going to share with you the solutions that I offer. And then we'll go from there. And you can make a powerful decision as to whether or not we move forward. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you are watching the replay, be sure to drop a hello in the comments so I know that you are here. And anyway, I want to thank you all for being here with me, and I hope that this was helpful. You take care. Bye-bye.